He is a military veteran helping others to heal from what he calls a moral injury. The author of Where War Ends is here with his advice to people dealing with trauma.
So many of our military veterans suffer in silence after returning from war, and sadly, according to the Veterans Administration, 22 veterans take their own lives every day in America.
Joining us now is Tom Voss, a former military scout sniper who served in Iraq and was featured in the Emmy Award-winning documentary called Almost Sunrise. Tom and his sister Rebecca Ann co-wrote the new book titled Where War Ends, Recovering from PTSD and Moral Injury Through Meditation. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The subtitle of the book, it refers to a 2,700-mile walk across America. You made that walk with your friend and fellow combat vet Anthony Anderson. So tell us about where that idea came from and all the people you met along the way, and I'm sure it changed you in some way as well.
Yeah, definitely. It got to the point of this was the only thing that I could really do to try to make sense of what I experienced in war. I deployed to Mosul, Iraq from 2004 to 2005, lost a bunch of friends in combat, so when you get back from war, you don't really have time to process a lot of this stuff. So this was our attempt to really process.
We've heard about PTSD. It seems like something that's in the news a lot. I've never heard the phrase moral injury. Right. What does that mean?
So moral injury is when you witness or participate or fail to prevent something that goes against your own moral scaffolding or upbringing. So I think this is kind of inherent when you're in a combat zone. You're going to see things and participate in things and witness things that go against who you are, as a human being. So I think this is a lot of veterans are going through today is, why did my friends get killed and why am I still alive? Can I be forgiven? Was I justified in my actions? So these challenges, moral challenges, keep coming up, along with post-traumatic stress and these other things that they're facing.
I see.
We had mentioned you wrote the book with your sister, and I would imagine that there's difficulty for family members, right, when they have a member of their family return home from combat like yourself. What do you tell those family members that maybe realize that their loved one's suffering? What do they do? How do they handle that? Yeah,
it's really challenging. The family members are suffering along right with the veteran, and unfortunately they get left out a lot. So having these challenging conversations with their loved one, asking them if there's anything that they can do to support them. Coming from a place of non-judgment is really important when we're having these conversations about things that the general population has never experienced. It's less than 1% of the population has served in the military. So how are we having these conversations as veterans to the general population? And
you have these three specific things, and maybe we could put those things back up on the screen that you suggest that we should be doing. Can we put those back on the screen? You say, be brave and ask hard questions.
Yeah, it's never easy to ask someone if they're thinking of harming themselves or anything like that. And fortunately for me, I've had that conversation before with my sister. And, she came to me and asked me, are you thinking about hurting yourself? And for me, of course, I was offended, right, and angry and upset. Yeah. But at the end of the day, having that, 3 minutes of uncomfortable conversation just to make sure, that's something that we can all do to help prevent the suicide epidemic in the veteran community.
Yeah.
You have earned the nickname the Meditating Vet. What are some of the techniques that you use and that you share with others?
Yeah, we use a lot of different breath-based meditation techniques, and the physical practice of yoga. These things can really help manage stress, and it's something that I travel around the country and teach other veterans and their families. Just practical tools, how we can manage stress on a daily basis.
In terms of what either a veteran can do right now or that family member watching us right now, either suffering or they know their loved one is suffering. Who do they call? What do they do right now?
For veterans, I would recommend reaching out to another veteran. For me, peer support is something that has really helped. Of course, if you're in an extreme crisis situation, you need to reach out to the Veteran Crisis Line. And for the family members, reaching out to other family members who have been through this before. Maybe even, there's great organizations out there that support veterans of loved ones who have passed. So finding like-minded individuals to be able to share these experiences is extremely important.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate it. For more information about the book, check out themeditatingvet.com. You can also follow Tom on Twitter, and you can see more vets sharing their stories about moral injury at the Almost Sunrise YouTube channel. Thanks again, Tom.
Thanks for what you're doing, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.